What's up, guys? How's it going? Today we're going to talk about the perk Hysteria. You know how to brutalize one member of a team to cause the panic. Whenever a healthy survivor becomes injured by any means, all injured survivors suffer from the oblivious status effect for 30 seconds. Hysteria can only be triggered once every 30 seconds. So, is this a good perk? Overall, looking at it from a glance, no, the perk isn't that powerful. But that's only because the playstyle you have to use to make this perk viable and powerful isn't that powerful right now. So this perk is actually pretty good if you're doing a hit and run tactic with a killer like Wraith, Ghostface, even Nurse. Which, again, Nurse has better perks, like that, like the Scourge Hook from the Onryo and Make Your Choice. But Hysteria overall is a really good perk with a hit and run tactic. Again, which isn't that strong of a tactic right now, because the survivors in the game are becoming more and more efficient and more knowledgeable. Hit and run tactic tends to be more powerful on a group of survivors who don't really know what you're doing and are overall not that aware. If you're able to branch off and hit new survivors, injure them, hit another full survivor, keep applying the oblivious status effect, then yeah, it's good if you have survivors who aren't as aware. But because the game keeps going in a direction farther away from survivors not knowing what you're doing to knowing what you're doing, Hysteria is going to progressively get worse because the playstyle is getting worse. Because survivors are becoming more efficient, they're becoming better in chases, they're becoming better at doing the generators. Unless you're at the dog shit tiers. Which a decent amount of survivors can be at because they rely on their teammates to do stuff. Like me. Like, I can very obviously tell that I, as a survivor, are playing with the weaker end of survivors. And once in a while, I'll get a stronger team. Because I can tell the difference of efficiency. If I tend to die most of the time due to the fact that generators don't become completed. If I'm being chased, generators don't get done. There's times that I've had 4 minutes chases and one generator gets done in all that time. But if I'm not the one found, I'm not the one chased, gens get done, I finally get down by Noed, they break Noed and then leave. So, Hysteria, I don't see any reason why Hysteria has a cooldown. It boggles the mind for me. The playstyle, at least in this current rendition of the game, Hysteria doesn't need a cooldown because the playstyle of hit and run isn't that powerful. If the game goes in a direction where the generators become slower, the loops become more fair, and the hit and run tactic becomes more viable, then Hysteria might warrant a cooldown. But in the current state of the game, Hysteria does not need one. So that is a change I would make to Hysteria. Remove the cooldown. If you remove the cooldown, I think that might actually add some power to the hit and run tactic. Making even so other killers that aren't stealth killers, which Oblivious really doesn't work that well with, because they are stealth killers. But being able to, like with Mikey, being tier 2, slapping someone, you throw the Oblivious status effect on everyone, you walk up on them out of nowhere, and you down them. Of course, they're injured, so you don't need to tier 3 them, but honestly, in the current state, the 30-second cooldown should be removed. But if the game does become more balanced in so many ways, then Hysteria could see some changes. I could say the same, I mean. If the game changes. If the game doesn't change, looking at the devs, it probably won't. Then Hysteria needs a cooldown removal. Or maybe a 10-second cooldown at most. If you guys agree or disagree, let me know. Oh, no, I don't suggest new killers should get this. Hit and run tactics tend to be a good strategy for experienced players who know what to do with hit and run tactics. Okay. Decent perk in the current meta. Good perk if the meta becomes more balanced, but it's not good enough for a new killer to get. If you agree, let me know. If you disagree, let me know. If you have any ideas on what Hysteria could get to change without completely remodeling the perk, let me know, and I'll see you in the next one.